Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today we are doing another part of the speed animate of the theme song to our web series, Demonic Crepes. We are getting on our last leg here. This is a very long process, but I've been having so much fun with this scene. I actually counted, and there are 20 characters in this scene, so it's a lot. Most of them don't move, luckily. So, oh my gosh, it's been so much, but right now, what we've done so far is, this is like the final establishing shot of all the characters, you know, like right before that you see the title card. Sophie kind of bops into the scene, she grabs hands with Anna and Kyoshi, her good friends, and then they kind of sink back into a realistic background with Harajuku Crepes behind her, which is her workplace, and a pretty big setting in the show. And then we have all the supporting cast behind her, and it was really fun to like assemble that supporting cast because there's so many characters. So they kind of sink into the background, and then all of a sudden from the sky there's a portal and Pancake drops out, and he just kind of like plops to the ground. And then we have her here. Actually, we're gonna have her pick up Pancake. So you guys might be like, oh, why is Sophie all by herself? All the other characters on other layers. So none of the other characters move except for the middle three, and then plus Pancake. So here you can see I actually have two Sophies. That way she's consistent, because I always want to make sure her height and her proportions are always consistent. So that is a, I just copied and pasted a sketch from earlier in the animation. So I just like copied and pasted it just to make sure like the skirt always has the same fluffiness, because it's an animation that I did, so everyone is twirling and twirling and twirling. So you want to make sure that when the skirt is like at rest, it's the same kind of like volume as when you're spinning, because of course like the skirt rises up when it's spinning and you see like all the little lace underneath. So when it settles you'll see less lace and it'll be like longer but less floofy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, just adding that for consistency. And then I have her little stance there. She's going to activate her Gemi. If you guys don't know what that is a mineral or a gem from other planets, and they give you unpredictable superpowers. So she just kind of has one. She pulls it out like Freddy Fish from behind her back, and she's going to transform, and she's going to have the magical backpack. I love the magical backpack. It's one of my favorites. She has these like adorable little buns in her hair, and I actually had her hair up in the buns, that way you could see the backpack better. And the backpack has wings, and it's super cute. When I was designing a lot of these superpowers, I wanted some of them to just be like superpowers, like fire powers or just cheesecake powers or something stupid like that. But I wanted a lot of them to have like cultural significance to Japan, but I didn't want them to be like cringy and stereotypical. So one of the things I loved about Japan was those little they're like really expensive, but these backpacks that are like square, and like lots of like adorable little kids had them, and they make them for like adults too. And they have like this big flap across the top, and I'm like, hey, that's something really unique, and isn't like, oh, she has sushi, or you know, I don't know, even yukata is not as well known, like a kimono power or something like that. Like I wanted it to be something that, you know, has to do like kind of with Japanese culture, but isn't like offensive in any way. So yeah, she has a magical backpack that flies. I also, when I design these, I kind of think of what would make like really cute like toys or merch for the show. So I know I personally would love to have like an ice blue backpack with a big jewel on it and like little wings. I think you'd be the coolest kid in school. So yeah, super cute. I actually met one of my favorite artists over the weekend. I got to catch up with her again. Her name is Amber Akiwong, and she had the most adorable little deer cat plushes, and they were so cute, and it got me thinking about making Pancake plushes, because I know you guys ask for them all the time, and I asked her about it because, you know, it's so cool, and they were so like well made. So I was like, hey, what was the process for you to make your little plushies? And she was like, it took a year. I'm like, no, I'm so not ready for that. So yeah, I would love to do a plush of Pancake. She was only selling them for like $25 too, which was crazy because I assumed that like a small creator would sell them for like $40. But I would love to do a Pancake plush one of these days. I would love to like give him, I think, a blue sweater, because he always has a different sweater color every episode. So I think my favorite colors of sweaters that he has is like either the blue one that he has in the pilot, or he also wears a purple one that's like the same color as Kiki's dress from Kiki's Delivery Service. I think both look really handsome on him. So that's probably the sweater I would give him if we made a plush. So here we just kind of have Sophie spinning him around, so she kind of like does this like scoop. It's like this really nice like high-low turnaround. You know, you guys know I say it like all the time. I love doing turnarounds. They're really, really difficult, but like it would be so much easier if she just like picked them up like from the ground and then shot her hand into the air with the jewel in it. But what's the fun in that? Like, I feel like you're gonna watch this theme song over and over again. You're gonna watch it at the beginning of every episode. You gotta make it fun, right? So I just really loved the high-low. I love the spinning, and it kind of shows off Sophie's really playful personality. And you can see on Pancake's face, he's just like, what the heck, who is this girl? Why is she spinning me around? Earth was a bad idea. So then she does like, she kind of shoots her arm out to the side, and then she does a downward scoop to the right, and she picks up Pancake, and there's like a little bit of drag, so he kind of remains on the ground while she just kind of like starts pulling off of the ground, because, you know, he like weighs a little bit, and then she scoops him up in the air, and she like spins him around, and then she comes down. There's a squash. You can kind of see like the squash right now, and then she'll like shoot up. I don't know where her arm goes. I feel like there's just like an apron pocket or something like that. But yeah, she like scoops down, and then she's gonna like shoot her arm right in the air, and she's gonna like have like a wide stance, and she's gonna like extend. Something I find that helps a lot, I didn't do this throughout the whole pilot. If I'm super honest, I've learned so much since animating the pilot. Oh yeah, we had a power outage, sorry about that. The pilot doesn't look as good as the theme song, just because I made the pilot like years ago, honestly. At this point, it's just all the production has been so much. Like, honestly, animating the show is the easiest part, and everything else is kind of like foreign to me. Like, all the organization and all like the social media stuff is like a lot like tougher and a lot more involved than like animating a show, which is super weird. So I've learned so much in these couple years, especially since moving out to California, and like all the experience I've had over these years. And so I've learned so much, and I really love the way that the theme song is coming together. But that's a good thing, you know? You don't want to like not improve within 2 years. So something I found that really helps is the shine on Sophie's eyes. And the shine on eyes is really hard to track, and it's a lot of work, because sometimes it can kind of look a little weird if you do it wrong. So something that really helps, because they have those like those dot eyes, it's really hard to show like which way they're looking. So if you just put the shine of the eyes like in the direction that they're looking, something else that really helps is their eyelashes. So I always point their eyelashes in the way that they're looking, left, right, or even like down. So that helps a lot. Just really expressive body language really helps a lot too. So if you really express like in the way that she's looking, or like have her whole body face the way she's looking, that really helps too. And of course, a little bow on her apron. I love it. I love all those like little accessories. You guys know I love animating clothes and hair. It's one of my favorite things, which is why I gave her these little aerial bangs, because I love how they bounce and they flip, and they're so cute. I totally fell in love with those bangs back in the 90s, so I'm like, if I make a show, I want my character to have bangs like that. I think they're like super 80s, but that's okay. So here she is doing a downward scoop. So what I did with this, which I do with a lot of this stuff, is I'm doing some in-betweens. So what I did was I did all of the keyframes, which is like her reaching her arms out, her making contact with Pancake, and then a side view, and then a back view, the other side view, and then back to the front. And then I will go in and I will do as many in-betweens as it takes. And as you can see here, sometimes her ponytail will cover a lot of Sophie, but what you really should do is you should draw the entire figure and then draw the ponytail on top, because I used to try to do like the whole figure at once. So I would draw Sophie spinning, and every single one I would draw also her ponytail following. But actually, if you just do like her baldy head and you just draw her figure spinning around, just do the ponytail later, because you should really be focusing on where the character is posing and like what angle they're at, and then just don't distract yourself with the other things like the ribbons or the apron or her hair, because those are my favorite things. So I tend to like favor those things over maybe the pose or something, so I find them kind of distracting. So I find that I really just like doing the posing first and then doing the ponytail later. It'll also keep your figure consistent, because you never really know what, because if you have your thing covered by ponytail, then you could accidentally make the character like thicker or thinner in the next shot, because you don't see the body. So just do the whole body first and then ponytail later. And then we have Anna over here, Kyoshi over here. So the whole point of the show, or the whole point of Kyoshi's character, is that he suspects that Pancake is a demon from another dimension, and nobody believes him. I think Anna knows, but she doesn't really care. So Anna's like filming this whole thing, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, Kyoshi's like right here while Sophie's transforming. That's the other thing. Nobody knows that Sophie is Princess Super Crystal, which is, you know, just like her superhero form. That's just kind of like what the media calls her. And then I'm like, oh crap, everyone's looking right at her as she's transforming in the theme song. So I'm just like, I'll just have Kyoshi like look away. So like he like so happens to look away the moment that it happens, because I feel like that would just be his luck. And here we have the crystallization. This is so much fun. I love doing crystallizations, which is when Sophie transforms using the jewels. And so when she activates the jewel, it like crawls down her arm, and it like crystallizes her completely, and like her mind and her being inside the crystallized body is the one that's like in all those magical girl transformations. So it's like she kind of goes like inside herself and transforms, and then when she bursts out of the crystal, she becomes, ta-da, her superhero self. So this is super fun. I love having like the crystal like almost like ice her over, it like spreads through her veins. It's like so fun and so cool. I finally found a method that really works. So what I do is I have a base of Sophie underneath. So I have her all colored in, as you can see, and that's a layer underneath the one I'm working on. So what I do is I copy and paste just the line work, and so then I have a layer on top of her that's crystallizing her whole body, but it's her form exactly, but it's not touching the layer beneath. That way it's like so much less messy. I did not do this on Sophie's Picnic Panic, which is our animated short that accompanies the pilot, and it was a lot trickier. So when I just found this like really easy trick of working on 2 layers, I'm like, boom, it clicks. This is so much easier. Why didn't I do this all along? But yes, I love this crystallizing scene. I think it's so beautiful because she's so shiny. The crystal doesn't activate anyone who didn't use it, so Pancake, you see, will be left alone. He won't crystallize. Maybe we'll have an episode where Pancake uses one. I wonder if he's able to. Yeah, it's a good question. I definitely plan on Sophie's friends using them eventually or something, and there'll be a lot of interesting ones. You guys probably saw it, especially if you're a Patreon. So it is a unicorn, and her horn is actually one of the crystals. So instead of the crystal being on Sophie's costume, it actually makes a living being, and it's this adorable little unicorn, and it's sassy as all heck, and it like hates Sophie, and it runs away because it's scared that once the task is completed, it'll disappear forever, because Sophie's outfits and her powers disappear once her business is finished. So I thought it was really interesting to attach that power to a living being, but that'll be a way future episode. I just really love playing around with these ideas and these concepts. So yeah, that was like super duper fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out, of course, to our patrons on Patreon. You guys are totally wicked. I love you guys. You make my dreams come true. Also, we do have the new matcha latte tier where I will draw your social media icon. Shout out to Iron Artist Adventures for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, guys, stay inspired.